Mosoma. Tangativo, umbusa tanga, neusama kosa. Alumuna, sisi au, yasama kosa. Amuna yeye, koma, sama kosa.
Good morning. This is Afric TV's Beyond the Headline Show, and I'm your host, Petros Haile. Today, our guest is Mellanie Tompson. We have a personal story about Mellanie, and the topic is addiction and road to recovery. Mellanie Tompson is a good friend. I've known her for the last 5 years. Although she makes fun of my African accent on occasion, but I'm willing to talk to her today. I would not take it personal. Hi, Mellanie. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, you've been clean for the last 9 years?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But for the purpose of introduction, if you can tell us where you were born and raised, and I know it's in Chicago, right?
Yes, I was.
And on top of it, what's your childhood looks like when you were growing up in Chicago?
Yes, I was born and raised in Chicago. I had a very good childhood. My mother, she had 8 kids, and I mean, we had a very, very good childhood.
Oh, okay. In the neighborhood, okay. Tell us, you went to elementary school there?
Yes.
High school?
Elementary school, Hearst Elementary. My mom became a school teacher there. I went to Curie High School, graduated.
Oh, from high school in Chicago?
From high school, yes.
Okay.
And life goes on from there.
Oh, go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how would you describe the neighborhood growing up in the south side of Chicago? That's where you were.
Well, I lived on the southwest side of Chicago.
Southwest, okay.
Southwest side, Leclerc Courts. And it was a pretty good neighborhood. You know that was a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
It was a pretty,
okay.
It was a pretty decent neighborhood. Everybody got along, and yeah, it was a pretty good neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, was it diverse? Was it ghetto? If I have to use that word.
Yeah. Yes, it was diverse.
Oh, okay.
It was diverse, but still, for the most part, it was a good neighborhood. Everybody got along. That's about what I can remember about that. But it was nice growing up over there.
Okay. So I know up to high school everything was okay in terms of addiction problem. But it started during high school or once you...
Well, actually, my addiction started in high school.
Oh, okay.
It was marijuana, and alcohol. You know, throughout high school.
Okay.
So, yeah, my addiction started then.
There, yeah. Who are the people who influence you to get into that kind of addiction, or what does it look like? Tell me.
Well,
Yeah.
from high school,
Yeah.
well, you know, I wanted to be
Yeah.
cool, hang with the hip crowd.
Hip crowd, okay.
You know, I was hanging with the cool people, and you know, so that was just like the end thing to do. We were going to parties and, you know, smoking marijuana and drinking, and you know,
It was just fun. Huh?
yeah, that was fun.
Okay. Yeah. Before I ask you the next question, I just found this article in some newspaper. Minneapolis-St. Paul drug abuse trends, April 2016. It's by Carol Fakowski. She summarized the problem of drug and alcohol in the Twin Cities. She said heroin and methamphetamine continued to dominate the drug abuse landscape in 2015 in Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area. A record high 16.5% of admissions to addiction treatment programs were for heroin, of which 36.9% were less than 26 years old. For the first time in 2015, heroin admissions exceeded the number of marijuana admission, which is 3,738 heroin and 3,426 marijuana. And it goes on, there's a lot of details to cover. But you said it started with marijuana?
Yes.
Okay. So I know it started as a fun in high school,
Yes.
but it gets to be intense, and you get into it. And in fact, you were in it for almost 20 years, right?
20 plus years.
Okay.
Well, when I graduated high school, I started hanging out with another crowd of people.
Okay.
And so they were into harder drugs, So,
What are those? Like
heroin.
heroin. Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
heroin. And crack cocaine. So, as I was hanging with these people. Matter of fact, I was dating a guy, and that's what he was doing, And eventually, I fell into it too. Again, it started off as
And having fun.
Having fun, and it don't take long to get addicted,
Okay.
because before you know, I was addicted, and it went on from there. Then weed and alcohol was no longer my drug of choice. It was crack cocaine and heroin. I didn't shoot it, I snorted it. And after a while, it was not fun anymore.
Okay.
It was just not fun anymore. I was caught up in the grip, and it was not fun, because by this time, it was something that I needed to function every day on a daily basis.
You have to have it.
Had to have it, yes,
Okay.
yes,
So from marijuana, you went to the stronger
Yes.
drugs.
yeah,
Of course, alcohol too.
Yeah.
I would assume, right?
yes.
Okay. Now, if you can give us some examples of how would you describe the life you lived as an addict?
As an addict, wow, it was terrible. Just to be honest with you, it was terrible. Like I said, I needed the heroin to function, and if I did not have it, I was sick. It was nothing that I could do. I just couldn't take care of myself. You get to be homeless. You don't want to go around your family, you know, you're hurting everybody. It was trouble. Get up in the morning and put a cap on my head and run out the door, you know, trying to get some heroin so that I can get my day started. Not fun at all.
And I'm sure the family was hurting at the same time.
And see, that's the thing. As long as I was doing this to myself, I was like, why are they, you know, I'm not hurting them. I'm hurting myself. But come to find out, when you go out there, you take everybody out there with you that loves you. That loves you. Yeah, I was hurting a whole lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Mother, children, siblings. I was hurting a lot of people. And didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for 20 years, that was the kind of lifestyle that.
20 plus years, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Could you tell how many times? Could you tell us how many times that you wanted to come out of it, get treatment, and if it fails or succeeds? I'm talking about in Chicago right now.
Okay. How many times I went to treatment?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I went to treatment. I went to treatment so many times, okay, but the thing is, I was not ready. I got tired of everybody bugging me. You need to get some help, Ma. Please get some help. Baby, you need to get some help. You know, everybody. When you going to get some help? Get some help. So I would go to treatment for 30 days or so, get out of treatment, right back off to the races, thinking that I was okay, you know. Well, I'm not going to use again, but then I have a little money. And the same day, I'm high. You know, and then I'm trying to hide from my family because I don't want them to see me high. And, you know, it was just a repeat. That happened so many times. So many times.
Okay, because it did not come from you.
It did not come from me. I was not ready to stop. Okay. And I was trying to please other people by going, you know, because they wanted me to get some help. So I was trying to please other people by going to get some help. And it just didn't work.
It didn't work.
It just did not work.
Okay.
Yep.
And you know, it's in every community. This is a very common problem. You know, you see addicted person.
Yes.
And they think that you are the problem,
Ah.
not them.
Yes.
So in that sense, what would you tell them? Like, since you went through it.
What I would tell them, it's not. I can stop if I wanted to stop. There's nothing wrong with me, so just leave me alone. You know, it's not a fun thing. It's sad.
Yeah. No, like, you know, just, since we're trying to give examples.
Right.
Like, you know, others would have a problem of addiction. But they don't think they have it. They don't think they have it. So there's always a resistance, a justification of saying, no, I'm not drunk, I'm just a little tipsy, or whatever they want to
They're in denial.
Denial, yeah. So those are the problems with you during, you know.
Yeah,
the stage?
Yeah, that's denial, you know, and it's not going to. You know, they're in denial, and it's nothing that nobody can do because won't nothing happen until they decide that they want to get some help. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, I was in denial for a long time. Okay. I can stop, I can quit when I want to, but I just couldn't.
So what is your turning point? What was your turning point to say, okay, enough is enough, I'm going back?
My turning point, I was actually tired of living the way that I was living. I was tired of missing out on life because I was actually missing out on life.
Okay.
My life, it was just like I was in a dark place. Everything was just dark. It was never no daylight. It could be 90 degrees outside with the sun shining, but I was in a dark place and I did not know how to come out, you know. So I was tired of missing out on life. I started having grandchildren and I'm not being a part of their life. I'm missing these babies grow up. I mean, I was tired because my mom raised us. I mean, she had all of these babies. She had 8 children. We did not have a family vehicle. She would put us on the city bus. We would go to the parks. We would go to the parades. We would go to the museums. She took us to Memphis, to St. Louis. She did all of this, you know, and family get-togethers, and you know, it just all went out the window to me. So I was just missing out on life.
So you just get up and go to the treatment once you start feeling that way, or?
No, I didn't just get up and go to
Okay,
the
I
treatment.
just want to know.
I had to make up my mind, you know. I was, you know, I wanted help so bad. You know, I was in a place where I wanted help and needed help so bad, and I just did not know how to reach out. You know, I didn't know who to talk to, didn't know who to call, and then like shame and guilt will keep you out there also. You know, the shame and the guilt will keep you out there. But once you get, for me, I mean, like, I was so tired. I was like, I know it has to be a better way than this, you know. And that's when I made up my mind to come to Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you come here in Minnesota.
Yes.
And tell us, when you come here, what was your first reaction?
Oh, I got off the bus and started crying because I said I had messed up my life coming to this country dark place.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying, you know, it's it was dark here because, you know, Chicago was all lit up and bright.
Yeah.
It was dark here, and I had my baseball cap on, and I was just crying because I figured I'd have messed up my life coming here because I didn't think that I could live like these people that didn't get high.
Okay.
You know, after I had been getting high for so many years, that was like all I knew.
No, to you, that lifestyle is normal. Was normal at
Yes.
that time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I was crying. I was like, oh, I done messed up my life. Why did I even come here? But good Lord, now that I think about it, it's funny because this was the best decision that I ever made in my life, was to come here. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's how Minneapolis greets you when you come here. You know, with different strange people. But I guess part of it was the process for recovery. Then what did you do?
It was a change of, it was fear, you know, fear of change. That's what it was, a fear of change. And I knew my life was about to change, and I left everybody and everything that I knew, and I was going to start over. So I had this fear.
Okay.
Well, I came and I was at my son's house for like 3 weeks, kind of like trying to detox myself. So after I got a little strength and got a little better, then he took me to treatment.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He took me to treatment, and that's what I came for, to go to treatment, get some help. So
you were ready for it.
Not really, but I
You know what I'm saying?
you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I came for, but it's like fear. That fear will keep you out there also.
Okay.
Fear of change. Yeah, so.
So, okay, you came here, you decided to, to go to a treatment center.
Yes.
And how did you sustain that decision for a period of time? Was there some difficulty in between? I know you're clean for 9 years now, but was there any temptation to go back to the old lifestyle?
You know, I'm not going to say temptation to go back to the old lifestyle, but like you have those days where you have thoughts, you know, you'll have something that may remind you of when you used to use. You will have dreams.
Nightmare?
Yeah, about, yes, yes. About when you were using, you know, but I mean, it's just a thought. If it's just a dream, nightmare, whatever, just that's all it was.
Okay.
That's all it was. And so people, places, and things mean a lot. You know, people, places, and things, like if you're in a certain situation, like some situations I don't put myself in.
Okay.
And if I see something coming, then I make sure I get up and leave, and I exit, go the other way or something. You know, because I don't want to be around certain things, certain people. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So you actually resisted it, you know.
Yeah.
With all the temptation
Yeah.
and all the.
Because I have come too far.
Okay.
I have come too far
Okay.
to
To go back to that lifestyle.
wow. I mean, life is good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Life shows up. I have been so hurt through this process, but I did not turn to drugs, because if you turn to drugs, you're gonna lose. You turn to drugs, you're going to lose. So, yeah, you know, I have been homeless. I was homeless when I was using. I've been homeless since I've been clean. You know?
Oh, even after you become clean?
Yes, after I was clean, I got put out twice. Not because of me, because of my son.
Yeah, but you didn't go and.
No, that wasn't
into that
because
lifestyle.
if I would have done that,
Yeah. Would have been disastrous.
I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about this right now, because I'd be out there trying to get me one more.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So,
Yeah. So, okay, let's change it a little bit. Yeah. So, the 9 years that you've been clean here, when you compare it to the other life, what changed in your mind? Like, it's, you know, when you compare it to the lifestyle that you had before.
when I compare it to
Yeah,
the lifestyle when I was
the 9
using,
years, yeah.
oh, because
What did you see? Anything different that you can mention? A couple of.
it's a lot different, because when I was using, that's all I was thinking about.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to think about paying no bills and buying a car.
Yeah, okay.
That was too much money. All of that stuff, you know. No. But today,
Go ahead.
I think I try to stay very positive. You know, I try to stay very positive, and a lot of stuff that my mom instilled in us when we were growing up, I'm doing all of that stuff now.
No,
See, I didn't pay attention then when I was a teenager and getting out of school and stuff, because I was grown and wanted to do what I wanted to do and did everything wrong. But see, I'm using all of that she had taught us. I'm using all of that now, you know.
You see, in addition to that, I know you're a religious person.
Yes.
Does that contribute into in giving you strength?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the religious part, the church that I go to, can I mention it?
Oh yeah.
New Oil Christian Center.
Okay.
New Oil Christian Center. Pastor and First Lady Carpenter, wonderful people. Wonderful people. You know, that church accepted me, and I was not fully, well, I just say I have grown since I started going.
Okay. It gives you some strength.
since I started going there,
Okay.
you know, and it helps a lot.
Okay.
You know, it helps a lot. And I have learned a lot
Yeah.
since I have been on this journey, road to recovery.
Good.
It's nice. Life is wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
Life is wonderful.
Yeah. I know in us can't mention the treatment center and other stuff, but in general, can you say something about it that is helpful and maybe our audience will learn something out of it?
Well, what helped me, I joined a 12-step program. You know, I'm in a 12-step program, and by me joining that 12-step program, I learned a lot. You know, it teaches you so much. I was like, wow, really? You know, like all the in denial stuff, and then you learn about people, places, and things. You just learn a lot about yourself. You know, what would trigger you to, you know, using, instead of you trying to stop using one drug and go to another, you know, but I mean, it's a lot of help out there.
Out there, yeah.
But the thing is, you have to make that first step, and plus you have to want it. You have to want the help. I was so desperate. That's why I came all the way to Minnesota. You know, and I was determined. I was just determined because, again, life is great.
Good. It's good to hear that. Well, this is great. Okay, do you have an advice that you wanted to give to those who still suffering?
Yeah, don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't be afraid to reach out. You know, if you're in a place and you just cannot seem to pull yourself out, which a lot of people can't, you need help, you know, make that first step. Pick up the phone, call somebody, call some of these hotlines. Numbers are all over the place. Get you some help and just go from there. But you have to want the help in order for it to work. You cannot do it for your children. You cannot do it for the courts. You cannot do it for everybody, anybody. You need to do it for yourself, and that way it'll work if you want it. You know, and life is good.
Thank you. On that note, we thank you, Mellanie, for taking your time to come to our studio and share your personal story.
Sure.
Yet, at the same time, it's informational and educational to many others who are suffering under the addiction, all sorts of addictions.
Yes.
And this is a topic we chose, addiction and road to recovery, because you're on the 9th year, and on the 10th year, you might even come back and visit us again.
Oh, on the 10th year.
Okay. Thank you, Mellanie Tompson.
Okay.
On that note, we end today's program Beyond the Headlines, and we'll see you next week with a different program. Until then, have a nice one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mama ku, mama sa, mama ku sa, mama ku, mama sa, mama ku sa, mama ku, mama sa, mama ku sa, mama ku, mama sa, mama ku sa. Sumanye. Atele. Mosoma. ombusa tanga ne usama kosa Alumuna sisi au ya sama kosa Amuna yeye koma sama kosa